So this is it. It runs until the carburetor comes in. This is where I'm at. Maybe I'll work on some other things. Obviously the wiring looks like a mess, you know, all of that. Plenty of stuff to work on. But right now, I'm going to call this a victory. Okay, the carburetor is now bolted on. It's a matter of hooking up the vacuum lines, gas line, things like that. But that's on there. I got it bolted down with just a thin gasket because I suspect I'm going to add on a Snow Performance water meth injection, which will be a plate underneath the carburetor when I get to it. But for right now, to start the engine and get it going, this is the way it'll be. And there it is. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is finishing wiring it up so I can start it, which I'll have a start switch and a on-off switch for the distributor. And I'll prime the pump, put the brake-in oil in it, and then we'll get it running. See how much noise it makes. All right, I'm in the process of putting in the distributor. I got the primer out. Rockers are all nice and wet with oil. Okay, so here you can see I used my camera there to see that the piston is near the top. But the next step here is to figure out which. This is in number 1. I cannot turn that one. The valve is clearly open, okay, on the intake side. So this is at near top dead center on 6. So I got to roll this 1 full revolution before lining up the line on the timing tab, and then I can drop the distributor in. This is a common mistake people do. They get it at top dead center, but they're on the number 6 firing instead of the number 1 firing. Okay, now we're over on the passenger side. I've rolled the engine 1 rotation. As you can see, this is number 6. The intake valve is opening, the exhaust valve is closed. So this is good. So we'll go over to 1, and we'll find that both valves are closed. Once again, I can turn that push rod, I can turn that push rod. And down below, I'm afraid it's going to be impossible to see the timing pointer, but it's at top dead center regardless. So now it's time for me to drop the distributor in, and I'll show that in a minute. Okay, there's a little picture of the oil pump primer shaft. You gotta have that slot pointed basically at number 1. It can be a pain to get that exact, but it helps to have the distributor look straight when you're done. Okay, I got the valve covers back on. Got them bolted down, gaskets in obviously. More of the vacuum hoses hooked up. The distributor is in, the timing is, well, roughed in. And so now it's time to start with spark plugs. Well, here's take 2, trying to start this thing. It does run, to skip to the that part about it, but it appears that the carburetor is bad. I thought it was in better shape than it turns out that it is. So I'm gonna try to advance the timing a little bit more. Of course, they like to put it so that the vacuum advance is exactly in the way. Since the carburetor is not apparently good, I don't have the fuel line hooked up. I'm just going to prime it here a little bit, get it to fire so I can demonstrate that it does. So there it is. That's about all it's going to do. The idle circuit's not working. There's a few things I can point out here while I'm here. The key on the crankshaft can be off a little bit, affecting timing. The damper itself could be spun a little bit. It's a new damper, but that doesn't mean anything. The timing pointer might be a little bit in the wrong place. And so this here is turned a little bit. It's probably, that should be like 20 degrees really, but it might not be depending on the tolerance of the thing. So you can't be 100% sure of where anything is until you get the light on it. Anyway, it does run, and the looks like the next thing I'm going to be buying is a carburetor, because I don't want to destroy the camshaft trying to break in the cam with the carburetor screwing up. Please like and subscribe.